Peace Queen. It's Melissa Crawford of thequeencode.com, and the message today is part 11 in the 12-part Character of a Queen series. So if you haven't seen the first 10 videos, no worries. You can watch this video first and then go back and watch the other ones in your spare time. But before I get into part 11, I actually want to do a quick recap of part 10. In part 10, I shared with you that a queen on her throne is a woman of divine order. Being a woman of divine order is really about understanding the power of the inner and knowing that who you're being is really important first, because it really informs what you do, right? How many times do you get up in the morning and the first thing you're thinking of is what you have to do. I have to go here, I have to be there, and you rush off into your life. When the order of manifestation is be, do, have. So it's who we're being that informs what we do, that informs what we have. But in this society, you know, we've really become more defined by what we're doing, right? We think that the more that we do, the more that we are. But it's really about who we're being first. So instead of getting up in the morning and worrying about what you have to do and jumping into your day, even if it's just for 5 or 10 minutes, it's really about going within, taking that quiet alone time to go within and to really connect with that truth that lives within you, the truth of who you are. When you begin to go within and understand who you are, right? Cultivate who you're being, it informs everything else in your life. There could be some things on your to-do list that you're worried about, that you have to do, that may be totally irrelevant to you actually doing the work that you're called to do. So it's really about going within, getting linked up and synced up, seeing yourself as God sees you, seeking first the kingdom within, right? All of those other things will be added to you. Going within, uncovering the light of truth and living from that place. It informs everything. And we really have to make that shift of valuing the inner, valuing that inner life, valuing the cultivation of who we're being, releasing who we've learned to be, right? To discover who we truly are. There's this story that I read years ago, and it talks about how we, human beings, abused our power, and so as a result, God decided to hide our power. And so as the story goes, God calls this council with the angels, and he tells the angels, okay, human beings are abusing their power, and I think we should hide it. So he starts taking suggestions as to where to hide it. One angel stands up and he says, I know where to hide the power of humans. We should hide it in the deepest part of the ocean. And God says, nope, we can't do that, because eventually human beings will dive to the deepest part of the oceans. They'll find their power and take it up again for themselves. So that angel sits down. The next angel stands up and says, I know where to hide the power of human beings. We should hide their power on the top of the highest mountain. And God says, no, we can't do that, because eventually humans will climb the highest mountain. They'll find their power and take it up again for themselves. And so that angel sits down. Another angel stands up and says, I know where we should hide the power. We should hide the power in the most remote location on this planet. And God says, no, we can't do that, because eventually, again, human beings will discover and really explore every part of this planet, right? And they'll find their power and eventually take it up again for themselves. And so God says, you know, there's really not a place on this planet that human beings will not explore, that they will not discover. So here's what I'm going to do with the power of humans. I'm going to hide their power within themselves, because they'll never think to look for it there. And as the story goes, ever since then, we've been digging, searching, climbing, exploring on the outside, when our true power is within. And so, again, being a woman of divine order is about being more concerned with the state of your being, the state of your inner life. The queen is an inside job, right? Becoming queen is an inside job. Being queen is really a state of consciousness, it's a state of awareness that you can only get to by going within. And when you uncover and discover within, right, that state of awareness, you begin to live from that place. It shifts your priorities. The to-do list that you had before you came to that awareness will be completely different from the to-do list that you have as you step into your feminine power. So that was part 10. Now here we are in part 11, which is actually a great follow-up from part 10. And part 11 is because a queen is a woman of divine order. She's also a woman of peace. Now, here's my confession. I'm being totally transparent. Being a woman of peace is a new way of being for me. You know, it's something that I really began to tap into probably about 7 years ago. But in the last 3 years or so, I've really become dedicated to being more and more peaceful, because I'm starting to understand the power in peace. You know, in my house growing up, everything was chaos. Everything was confrontational, chaotic. You know, speaking at the top of your voice was our normal tone. You know, I come from a long line of hellraisers. And so I had to discover a new way of being, right? I had to begin to tap into that inner and realize who I was in the light of truth. And Queen, who we are in the light of truth are women of great, incredible peace. You know, a queen on her throne should be an incredible embodiment of peace. We should be the eye in the storm. We should be the peace and the calm in the storm. That's one of the reasons why, you know, in my videos and my emails, I always address you peace queen. I address you that way because I'm really reminding you of who you are and how you should be. So being a woman of peace, you know, understanding that peace holds power, not necessarily conflict. Now I know that there are, that conflict can be necessary at times, right? But at the same time, when I say conflict, I'm talking about the chaos. I'm talking about the negative part of that. Being a woman of peace means being a woman that's really rooted in your power and knowing that there's a peace that's within you that surpasses all understanding, that when you tap into that, it's like there's nothing that can really harm you. A queen on her throne lives by the daily mantra that peace begins with me. That's my mantra every day. Peace begins with me. It's not up to another person. It's not up to, oh, I need this situation to be perfect before I can be at peace. It can be a raging storm. Think about Jesus, right? Think about how in that storm when his disciples were so upset and they were frantic and, you know, they were just in such, they were nervous and they were fearful. Everything was chaotic. How he just stood up in peace and simply said, peace be still. So again, being in your feminine power, because when I think of peace, I think of wholeness, nothing lacking, abundance, flow. All of those things really describe feminine power. And what is a queen but a woman of feminine power? So being peace is a part of who we are. So it's about peace, queen. That's my message for you this week. In the meantime, I have a wonderful free gift for you. If you go over to my site at www.thequeencode.com, you can download your copy of Reign as Queen in 2013. And in this audio, it really speaks to not only how to stand firmly in your feminine power, but also how you can begin to really shift some things in who you're being, how you can really begin to shift those things in 2013 and beyond. So all you simply have to do is go to www.thequeencode.com, and I'll talk to you soon.